Alright. So, this is part two. I actually just looked online, and yeah, I guess it does it at 12 a.m. Because all my textures they're back and ready to go. And again, full disclosure, you got to say that you got them from textures.com if you're going to get it from textures.com. But the first part actually went pretty good. So let's get the barrel done next. And we're going to use a lot of the same textures. So let's jump in here. Holy God. For 8. I believe. It was the light blue. Yeah. So we're going to take that off. And we'll throw on, we'll just use the regular steel instead. That way we can have the other part right there. And then we'll figure out how to throw some decals on there. But we already got these done and ready to go. So we just got to figure out the barrel now. And that actually looks pretty good. And then I have this one and then the other three going down, or the other two. Not bad. This side's smooth. We can always add something onto that after. But yeah, we're just going to keep going with this look. And then next thing we got to do is the barrel. So immediately, like I said, we got to jump into Blender. Make sure you delete your camera and you delete your other light source. Usually gives you, I believe, a sunlight source. And we're just going to bring it in, and then you're going to open up your object file. And again, we got to convert this over to FBX in order for it to, you don't have to. I just found it works a little bit better. What did I put it underneath? Tutorials. Tutorial. And textures. Decorative grip. Okay, maybe it was Doomsday. Tutorial AK-47 Doomsday. Alright. And then ZFBX would be where I put the FBX. So right here, next thing we got to do is we got to do the barrel. So we're going to import the barrel. And because it's so tiny, if you haven't seen the first one yet, you might want to go back to that. I did it earlier tonight. It's the one with the gold symbol. But what do we have? We have this right here. Not bad. So we're going to take this, and again, you're just going to scale it. And I did the other one by 20, so you want to keep that uniform. So this one is through 20. Once we do that, G, Z, bring that down. Just to get it in there for Mixer to really look at it. What am I doing? Shift and C. There we go. So we have this right here. Again, you need the plugin for Blender, but it is free. So let's jump right into our UV editing. And let's get just the barrel. So we're gonna, Alt and Z. God, I gotta keep messing with this. There's gotta be an easier way. So Alt and Z, you can see right there, it does an X-ray. Or you could just do wireframe, whichever is easier. I like to do the Alt Z underneath the solid. Just a personal preference. It really doesn't matter. You can do whichever you want. Let's get this part right here. Well, actually it really doesn't matter because we click on this part right here, press N, use text tools, which is our plugin, and we got to go to our UV layout or size. We're keeping everything uniform with 1024, and then that automatically does this. Underneath our color ID, we're going to use the same 5 color code. You can do more, but again, it does get kind of confusing for the program. Sometimes it doesn't do the exact shade through conversion. So first thing we need to do, I like to start from left to right. The whole thing is going to be color coded red now. Now it's colored all right there. And we're just going to do the top part. And Alt and Z. If you hit up here, you can sync the UV selection so that you get everything there. I like to really see what is going on with my texturing process and my model. So let's jump down into here. That actually looks pretty good. Throw that. And Alt and Z to make sure that that's all that's selected. That actually looks pretty good. I'm going to stick with that, and then especially with up here. Let's make that. God, there it is again. It's just the way they unwrapped it. So now that we have, it looks like just that. For ha-has, let's take this one out. Those two out, those two in. Looks good. Doesn't look like there's anything else attaching itself to it. Never be too sure. So next thing you know, you have a blue. There we go. Okay, so not too sure exactly what I want to do with this. This actually... Okay, this is definitely going to be on its own, and I think I'll make this on its own, and then we'll keep like the silencer part right about here. So this right here will be a different color. And again, tab, jump into that mode. Where are we with this? Here, click off that. There we go. Hit N. Again, you can hit W. Alright, this up here we do not want. So again, it doesn't really matter. Again, we synced it up. As long as you sync it up, that's all that really matters. Same as the other tutorials. And we're gonna throw that out. Also, if you did the other tutorials, you can just fill them in with separate colors. That works too. I'm gonna do this as well, which would be this piece right here. Yeah, Alt Z. Shift, same thing. Let's see here. It looks like we got it. We definitely got it. Alright, so we already used the red and the blue just for ha-has. What happens if I take away this edge? Yeah, we need that edge. Because when we take it away, it cuts the interior part right here completely off. So now that we have that, we use the red, we use the blue. Next one down is green. Hit tab. Ooh. And Alt and Z. And it didn't catch it all the way. You gotta be kidding me. Okay, we might not need that. So that's why you jump in and out of this to make sure that you got what you have. We're gonna do this. Which this is going to be a separate color in itself, so we're going to that one next. Setting it up is the pain in the neck, and then we get to choose our materials. What I don't like about Mixer is it doesn't really let you open up more than one window, one project. Whereas Blender, I can open up separate ones, especially if I'm running separate versions. For whatever reason, it just doesn't do it. All right, we got that. We got these. So this one we will make yellow. I think the barrel is going to be the easiest part, actually. Let's go right here. What do we got? All right. I don't know if I should make this part of the same texture or continue to go with make this green as well. Again, I mean, that's what you have to really choose on your own. What's up, Gorilla? Yeah, apparently, because I'm doing this through textures, I'll do a tutorial on making your own. But I just wanted to do something. Because if I were to do the, hey, let's make our own textures for this piece right here, and we'll make a 2-hour stream or a 3-hour stream into a 12-hour stream, that would just be ridiculous. People are already talking about, like, hey, man, you got to cut down the time, which I totally understand. So, and I haven't edited those either. I suck at editing. I got to get better at it. And the best way that you can do things is just to repeat them over and over and over. Something doesn't work, try something different. And that's kind of what I'm going for at this point. So, I mean, I'll edit it in my own time. But basically, it's just a continuation on from the other one. We did the base, and now this is the barrel. And we're going to use pretty much the same textures, but the other textures, we're going to, once again, use them from textures.com. As much as I don't want to, it's practical. And you can use those. They give you a certain amount every single day. I believe, well, credits that you can use for them. And then you can either buy like a full license. Anyways, you can use them, and you just have to say, hey, I got them from textures.com. One or more of these textures used in this model comes from textures.com, and you're good to go. So let's do this as blue. All right. Alt and Z. So let's jump back into the layout here. All right. So we have this red part here, and I color coded it just like I did with this. So it's going to be a continuation on to what we have right here. So the next part is obviously, I mean, I might want to change a few things on it, but for the most part, I think I got what I want. I'll show you how to fine tune it. I'll also give you pointers on when you're uploading your skins. Because the other ones were just for ha-has and to get my name out there. I plugged myself. Wow. God damn it, man. It's too early in the morning for this shit. I basically went ahead, and when I put it in the description, I just said, hey, come to this channel if you want to see how I made this skin. So I gave myself, a quick for whatever. What I like about this material right here is for welding points, it's awesome. And right here, we're doing the same thing. We got this, which we converted, and now we're doing the same thing with this. It's just I think we might need a couple extra textures. But hey, just for ha-has, yeah, we'll try something else. So I'm guessing that is going to be okay. If not, you can always go back later. So let's jump into UV editing. Looks good to me. We won't know until we get it into Mixer anyways. So now that we've done that, you make sure that you're keeping the maps the same in uniform. 1024, and we got to get into our baking. Just use diffuse. That way, hopefully, it stays the same type of color. I think it will, for the most part. All the faces automatically are going in the right direction. I mean, they took care of that. So the diffuse should do just fine. And now that we have that, we just got to bake it. UV layout. Whoa. Texture baking. Well, no kidding. Alright. So, got our UV layout. We have our color code. You know what? Instead of diffuse, let's do material ID. What's going on here? Instead of Eve, let's use cycles. Layout. Alright, so now that we have that selected, we'll use diffuse. Why not? I threw it into cycles. I'm just going to use GPU compute. But just for ha-has, I want to see if it will do it through Eve. It will. Will it really? Yeah, okay. That works. So we're going to bake it. Give it a minute. Okay, give it a second. Oh, no, maybe not. We might have to use cycles. Or not use GPU compute. Too early in the morning for this. Because again, once you bake it and you get your color map down, then you're able to pretty much mess with the textures that you have preset to whatever you're doing. So perfect example, right? Yeah, right here. So I added this material to these different color codes, and then I actually overlapped a couple to get the desired effect that I wanted. Not my textures though, that's the thing. I did get them from textures.com, but just for this right here, which you can do. Okay, so the end there, I definitely want to make. Oh, really? Weak. Cancel. Hence why we save it. Alright, well, let's just pretend we're starting off at the beginning here. File, import, OBJ, we're going to Doomsday. Underneath Doomsday, we are going to AK barrel. We are going to scale that up by 20. G on the Y. G on the Z. Alright, now that we got that where we want, we are going to choose it, tab, UV editing, choose, press N here. I'm going to press N here too and turn on SmartCast and set the origin here. There we go. So text tools, choose all of it, color ID, and instead of 512 we want 1024. Make sure that these are 1024 as well. All of it is red. And since we already been through this, because with Blender, anyone that uses Blender will tell you, you're probably going to do the same thing over and over. That's this side. What's this side? Okay. That's what this is right here. It's unwrapped, and then right here is this part. Either way, we're going to use all of this. Zoom in. Hold Control after hitting W. Shift. There we go. And while pressing Shift, we're going to choose these as well. All right, so we got all those highlighted. Do Alt and Z, zoom in, make sure we did get everything. Alt and Z again. Yeah, we're good. Make that one blue. We can make this as, yeah, we'll make that blue as well. Probably would have been the easier way. Alt Z. All right. It's an Eve. Yeah. All right. Well. And right here, Alt Z. Let's go down here, go back up here, Control, get these out of the way. Same with these. What is this part? Alright, so all we really need for this part, because the rest is red anyways. We already have our red, we have our blue, going straight to our green. We're gonna go right here. Okay, we know it's this. Right? Think so. Cross that off. So it looks like we actually need these as well. All right. If we want to change that, we can do it later. Ooh, is that part of... Am I missing something? What we got? We have blue, red, green, so yellow. Alt and Z. I don't like that. Doesn't look right. And again, because we don't want to repeat the same mistake a million times, we're now going to save this. And that's blend. This will be bar dot blend. Let's hit tab again. All right, so these right here, I'm gonna hit 3. I don't think it's really gonna mess with it that much if it does that. So let's throw that back to red. See how the other side looks. You know what? Because you do want to keep it uniform, so... Yeah. We'll do that then. Might be a modeling error. Unless I'm seeing it wrong. Let's use the tip as... We still have a blue left. Let's make our connector piece. Zoom in and we'll just go straight down. Get rid of this. Early morning coding. All the fucking happy trees. Alright. I don't like how that goes out, but you know what? I'm not gonna really worry about it too much. Maybe we should make this blue as well, and then keep... Damn it. I got that gut feeling that's like, dude, do it now. Because you're going to be regretting it later, and you can always change it later. But I know myself, and I'm going to want to have turned that blue. Alright. So I got that split up the way that I want it. And, you know, you're going to do the same thing. Just because I do it this way doesn't mean you have to. You can... It's your model. You can do whatever you want. I'm going to hit W. Every time you hit W, it changes. It's like your shortcut cycle for your hotkeys. And I'm using the 5 code. And you go into baking. I'm going to use a diffuse. And I'm just going to bake it. There we go. And that was using Eve instead of cycles. So now that we have it color coded, so when you hit tab on it, and you can actually bring down what you just rendered here. Did I? I did. Okay. I was like, why is that blue? But again, it split it up and it color coded it the way that we needed it to. And this is our map, our color code map. This is where we're going to tell our materials to go inside Mixer. This is the hardest part, figuring out what to do. I mean, because we'll be back here again, but for the most part, we're pretty much done with Blender. We moved around and we got what we needed. We're going to save this again. We can always bring it up after and redo it again. So now that we did that, we're going to go to our image and we are going to save it as, it's a PNG AK-47 body, AK-47 barrel. Diffuse. And diffuse. Still underneath tutorial. Save. Now that we have that, we're just going to jump right back into Mixer. And with these colors that we have, we can do one of two things. We could either start a whole nother project, or we can save this as barrel. Still going to use the 5 color code. Because everything that we did in our, the last section, this all is pretty much how we chose it to be. So we want it to be uniform because we don't want, this to be bigger than another unless we intentionally do. But for the most part, these things are usually uniform. So what we're going to do is from here, you just jump into your surface, your setup. No, it is your surface layer. And here's our material ID. So we save this as barrel. And we are going to remove this. And we are going to load in C texture tutorial AK Doomsday. Right? What did I put it under? It was just there. There we go. Image, save as. Oh, tutorial. Of course, yeah. Because it would be easy. Alright. There we go. And we're going to load up our AK-47 barrel diffuse. And from there, all we got to do is we just got to switch around our model as well. So underneath setup, underneath custom mesh, we now got to save this right here. File, export, and we're doing it as an FBX. Did I save it underneath textures? No, I know exactly what I saved it under. C tutorial, AK, Doomsday, and then Z. And this will be bar FBX. Export. And now all we got to do is just choose bar. And open it. What? Multiple texture sets are not open. Oh, and we did that because we didn't do it right off the bat. File, new. Or what we can do here, because it has multiple textures already assigned to it. A, X. Everything else is good. So first thing you want to do, because we're all learning together here, when you load in your OBJ, underneath Doomsday, and you scale it by 20, and then you can, it's just easier to find it if you bring it down here. Good enough. Now you go ahead and file, export as FBX underneath bar. Doomsday Z bar export. And it turned red down at the bottom because that's what we were doing. Now we can load bar. So we are going to go right here. Ooh, it didn't like that. File, open, barrel. No. Let's preload it. It's going to bring us right back to our other one. And this is the importance in saving, guys. Now we're going to load. Well, first things first. Let's get our layer, or let's get our, the thing that does stuff. Bar FBX. Wow, really? There we go. This is what we had chose for the other one, which definitely is not going to fly. All right. We're just going to have to do a new mix. Which we should be doing anyways, and we'll just do it straight up from there. So right here, make sure it's 1024. You're going to have a custom mesh bar FBX. Now that we got that in here, we just got to do it like the other way. So that's why you want to take note as to what you're using for your textures. Oh, this is body bar. All right. So now that we have that, now we're just going to set up our material ID. We're going to load that. See, tutorial. I believe it was under, what did we save that under? Sure. Tutorial. I gotta get sleep. because that's where I put all the textures as well. Alright, this is barrel. Good. Now we can go ahead, we can jump into our local library from the textures that we already chose, which are all underneath my textures. And these ones we can use. The rest of these you really shouldn't do because they come from Megascans. So let's get the base up, which, I mean, I think the one that would be the majority of it would probably be steel battered. Just because, I mean, it's the end of the barrel, you know? And now that we have that, we're going to want to add a mask ID, because right here, underneath our base layer, we have that there. So ID mask, and we're going to do bright red. And if you hit 8, that'll be the end. So with that, it doesn't have all the extra stuff on it. So what we got to do is just click on this, not where the material ID is, and we can go ahead and choose it. Opacity mask is fine, but when we go down to our placement, it's on a box projection. Freeform or tiling usually works pretty good, and then you can start to see the impurities and everything else that's kind of going along with it. Not bad. Or we can use this right here. I do believe that this is stretched, but we can fix that. So let's add our next material. We used what, the scratchy, like the scratchy surface, I believe, local library. We used that briefly. I didn't like it. I'm going to take that out of the other one. Really, it was just these 3, huh? 4? Let's see how this material looks for the grip. And of course, we're just going to add our mask ID. And maybe around the green, I'm guessing, would probably make it look pretty good. So we're going to hit that there. And then, of course, underneath the grip, instead of box projection, we'll do freeform as well. And now we got to really just kind of mess around with it here. So we have our threshold, radius, preserve details. That changes different things to the height map of this, or, you know, also like your displacement. Alright, so underneath freeform, if you do tiling, it's going to give you an idea as to like how many times you want to have repetitions, and repetitions on the Y. I don't want any repetitions on the Y, and I kind of want the Y to come back right about here. And I'm going to rotate that 90 degrees because I want it to kind of look like a cuff. Not bad. So now we got to mess with the height frequency a little bit. Now if you go low, it goes in negative. Obviously up goes positive. I want this to cut back just a little bit. And then same with this one. And you're going to see the height kind of change on here. Threshold is your intensity, how much you want it to go. And it's fun to mess around with it for the most part, just to see what you're doing. This doesn't really have that much of a difference, but you can actually throw in a noise modifier. And if you're going to do that, I suggest you do that lower because it goes from top to bottom. So, boom, right there. We'll throw in a noise modifier. And we are going to go back to grip. placement. There you go. Tiling, offset, rotate. Let's bring our repetitions up for this as well. Now, we already had this over in our other model. So what we can do is we actually can have it so that it's like a band. And what you would do for that is, or you could put it around here. It really doesn't matter. It's all up to what you want to do because, again, it's all how you color code it. So with this being color coded, and then we also have yellow, let's see how this would look on the yellow real quick just for ha-has if we were to attach it. Not really much better. If you don't, wrap to underlying basically means how much it's going to stick to the model itself, and you can pull your model apart to move it, but it's not going to change your model at all because all you're doing is you're skinning. It will mess with a little bit of the displacement if you're using, say, what the heck is that plugin for Blender? There's a plugin for Blender which does both of them. So now that we have this, let's get rid of our noise modifier because it really doesn't seem to be doing too much. And we'll also add this onto the yellow so that the two colors mixed together and made black. If you throw this above it, it'll no longer be the black metal, but you can mess with the wrap to underlying and you can bring this from above and it'll start following the contour of this right here. It's great for making other textures, but notice what it's doing here. It's starting to carve into this as well. So by doing that, what you can do is you can add either a liquid layer or a whole nother surface layer, which we'll add this, and we'll bring this below. And we're not gonna, again, tiling. And now it's starting to bring out right here. We want to, again, you know, go ahead and we'll keep it right here. So we just got to put it onto our mask ID, which will just be this one. So anything that it dips down to is going right here. But we want to bring our threshold down just a smidge. Up or down, it's not going to matter because we have it opacity masked from below. Oh, maybe it will matter. Okay. Tiling. Let's do freeform. And with freeform, we can scale it down. You want to be careful with that though, because if you scale it down to a certain point, it's going to start stretching, but then you can kind of move it where you want it to go. So, I mean, you can use it to your advantage, and then just kind of rotate it from there. But your scaling really messes with it with freeform. So think of it as a sticker or a decal that you're sticking there. So that's when you would want to use tiling. And if you tile it, then the whole thing's going to be good to go. Now, this actually, I don't believe, is a procedural texture or a repeating texture, or I don't know what the right terminology is. An infinite texture of whatever. So repetitions for Y, repetitions for X. Let's bring that up. And now we kind of got our silencer look. But let's drop the frequency just a little bit. And then our low way down. So it looks like bullet holes. Because if you bring the high frequency up, it's just going to... They totally fight each other. And also, don't forget, this is below this. And they're both using the same texture. Now, if I were to mess with this, because this is hugging it, it's basically, it's tight, and that's what you're doing when you're dealing with Where are you? I know you're here somewhere. From above, preserve details, wrap to underlying. So if you take off the wrap to underlying, then it kind of mixes together with it. Hence the name mixer. So you can kind of make it look like, oh, hey, this is, you know, this is the cheap shit that they made it out of down at the bottom. Which is kind of like the look that I'm going for. Then right here, I'm going to drop that down. Blur to underlying is how much it kind of mixes together. Bring up the threshold. Tiling. And the height frequency of this, I'm going to bring it up all the way. The same thing with the low, so that we have our holes. Not bad. I'm pleased with it. So that way it kind of looks like that it's burnt off, like it's been used, which I'm pretty sure every place in Rust is all, it's not new. You can also add a solid layer to just change the color of it, which I don't see with the bad. Kind of like a rusty color. And that way we keep it on here. And then we have it blurred out. Now if we do it on tiling, it's not going to change it because it's a solid color. Where we change it is right here in dirt bubbles. Now the solid color is going to affect everything that this is attached to, the red, which the red is attached to this part right here. So you got to keep that in mind. It's give and take when it comes to this stuff. So let's add this to the blue. Just this one, the shattered steel. Now this is where we would want to duplicate the layer. We'll take this off cyan. And then this one right here, we're actually going to take it off from the red because we don't need it doubled. And we don't need it on the yellow. Because all we're doing is this is going to be a separate one. And I want that to kind of look newer. So how I would go about doing that is I would jump back in. Everything else is the same. Instead of from above, I'll just do opacity masked. And it just gives it that clean cut color. You can also add, like I said, a noise modifier in there to really change, because all that this is doing is it's going off of this bottom one from the dirt bubbles. I really don't like that. So we're going to add in another texture that we used. It's our decorative. We're going to keep that there. Yellow. I don't think that did anything for that. And the grip, take that off from yellow. Decorative. We are going to do tiling, just like the rest of them. Not bad. Oh. Let's do our height frequency. And we got to bring that below so that it's all the way at the bottom. Or we could do all the way at the top. What the heck, why not? Getting 2 minutes. There we go. And now we add our ID, and we'll go to, what was this? Yellow. God. Let's throw this above the solid. All right, cool. What else is using the yellow? Box projection ain't gonna do crap. All right, testing. Dark blue. All right, this is really messing with me. I don't know why that was affecting it so much, but we'll just throw that in after. So once again, we have these two right here. And since we have it on tiling, again, you can mess with the repetitions, how much you want it. Or if you throw it in freeform, you can put it in a specific place. The main thing is we got this burnt off, still this looking like new. And it's just wrapped nicely. So let's throw these in, and then of course we have our connector piece. God, I love coffee. Let's bring our repetitions up. No! My God, the wrong one. There we go, decorative. Let's bring our tiling. Repetitions. We'll do 9 and 9, so it's all nice and neat together. Kind of looks cyborgish. And then you can mess with the, let's preserve the details. Wrap to underlying. If we bring that down anymore, it's not going to do anything. Because again, you're choking it. That's your displacement. Blur to underlying is how much it goes in between. Like this. Oh, decorative. And I want this from opacity masked. Now that we got that, preserve our details. And let's go to our height frequency. So lower, there we go. That'll bring it out a little bit more. Doesn't look like a bad barrel at all. Although, what the hell, you know what? Why don't I make that just silver? And this is where, like, you're gonna get into problems, is you're just not gonna know, like, what would look better. And that's the fun part about skinning. You just mess around with it. So the blue. Alright. Let's take this off from the blue. And the clean, we will do this blue. So we kind of got the clean and the burnt. Actually, what would it look like burnt out? That kind of looks good too. Add a whole nother layer here. Let's see what this would look like as a weld. Opacity masked, placement, tiling. Let's see what that would... Oh, no, I did all that blue. I thought I did. That was just the first one. Let's see what it looked like. Take off grip. Green. Alright. So our tiling, obviously, we got to do 90 degrees, rotate. Oh. There we go. I don't know. What do you guys think? Like, I mean, I guess. Because this silver part... Fuck. Alright, you know what? File. Save. As barrel. Replace it. File, open, body. I guess that would kind of go with it, right? Alright. What do we have for repetitions? 5 and 5 underneath tiling. What do we got here? Oh man, 9 and 9. Because I do want to keep them uniform. This stretching right here can be fixed. You just gotta look to see exactly where it's going. So it definitely looks like uniformly right here it's being broken off. What's up, T-Rex? The AK for rust. I'm making a skin. And right now I'm just kind of trying to figure out the color scheme for it. Because I got like the basic idea. Using just a few materials that I downloaded. So here, file, save. So the basic idea for the body, and then we'll build it up from there. It is kind of like, this is sort of the theme. I mean, it's not all in stone, but it's something. And then of course there's the grip, which flops between the metal, so on and so forth. But let's, yeah, son of a bitch. And then of course up here we have that. I want to keep them all the same, so for the most part they're uniform. So we got that. That's cool. Alright, so with these two, this is already made. Let's open the barrel again, just to see how it looks. Mine as well. And then we gotta edit this further anyways. So now that we have that here, you go to export. You might as well export all your gloss. all your maps, your metal, and you can remove maps too, but I just like to hold on to them. Create a subfolder, and this is barrel. Test, finish, bar, export. So now that we've exported those, once you're in Blender, we're not going to need this anymore. So we're going to do File, New, General. Yeah, don't save. Don't need it, already have the saved. And what we're going to do here is same thing. You're going to import the other ones. OBJ, Doomsday. Let's do the body. And file, import, OBJ. And we'll do the barrel. Now, because I got these straight from Rust, they're automatically going to click together. That's the way that it's set up in order to create the FBX. So we're going to need a material to start with. So we're going to choose the I can't talk. I've been playing too much Rust. We're going to go into, where are you? Not there because it's base color and image. And now we're opening, what was it? C, textures. No, tutorial, right? Rust models, because I have them all over the place. This is what I'm talking about. You need to put everything AK stock, because, you know, I'd really think to look for it there. Test, finish, and then bar. Barrel. There we go. Oh, diffuse. Albedo. Now, I think, notice the two, they're both, one works better than the other. We'll do that, Z, material preview. And now that we're there, we can just do our shader. For this part, oop. Oh my god. So many different hotkeys. There we go. What am I doing? Because you guys definitely are going to want to see. View. Really? I don't have it for this? There it is. No. Okay. Huh, I thought I had screencast keys on here. I guess not. That's sad. Stay on the last operator. Wow, I really don't have screencast keys on here. Alright, so basically shift middle mouse button going down. Actually, you just need middle mouse button. You don't even need shift. So I'm just clicking that with the left mouse button. Shift and D. We'll try the albedo. So I'm going to say this is the subsurface space. And our diffuse will be our surface space. Again, Z, material preview. There we go. Or we could just throw it right in rust and mess with it, but I don't really want to do that just yet. So, color into metallic. Maybe it's subsurface color. There we go. That works better. So metallic, we are going to open as metalness. And glossiness, I think, is clear coat, correct? Yeah. Because we have 9 maps that we put out. Now, Rust isn't going to use all these, but it gives you a basic idea how to use them. Alright, so I'm going to go into specular. Where's our diffuse? AK. Gloss. Open. Hitting Shift and C, moving in. Because then we can do these one by one here. File, save as. AK finish. Oh man, I need to clean this up. This is gonna drive me nuts. I don't even know what I'm working with. Alright. Why not? So shift right mouse button, shift right mouse button, do that again, press G, come down here, and of course we can just bring that right up here. Shift right mouse button, shift right mouse button. Go right about there. There. That way we at least can kind of compress all this. Alright, so we have a metallic or specular base. I'm not even sure if that's how that works, but it seems like it's getting there. Definitely gonna need our normal map in there. Somebody told me once you don't even need to, you can just throw the normal into the normal if it is normal. But I could have sworn you can't use the yellow into a normal unless it's an actual normal map, so we'll see. There's Z rendered. Let's throw in a light. Yeah, I think sun should be good. Now, you know what? Let's make that a spot. Alright. And of course, it's not going to go on the spot that we want. There we go. I'm used to just throwing in the vector with the normal map. That just seems better to me. I don't know why. For decorative, whatever. Oh. Or you know what? I guess we can do a height map. I already did normal. There we go. That's better. Roughness. Where are we? Be our smooth roughness. Throw another one down here. See what it would look like with the clear coat. Why not? There's our displacement. We can add a displacement modifier to that after. Let's add the gloss to it, see what this looks like. Oh yeah, I guess it kind of does do something, huh? No, not really. I'm not happy with it. Yeah, screw that. Take that gloss out. That's bullshit. There we go. Something doesn't seem right. No! Oh my god. Rust models. We'll just do diffuse, and we will take out subsurface shading. No way it's gonna be that bad. That is way too shiny. Well, we never know until we put it into Rust. Let's just get the rest of this going. So we're gonna do Shift and A for this. And we're gonna do texture, image. Throw this right into our base color. Open, textures, Rust models, AK. Body diffuse. Oh, because I put it into 2K. But all right, body diffuse. We'll see how this looks. We kind of have the same material and everything going here. Because we kept everything pretty much the same. Metallic. Open. Metalness. Throw our roughness map right in there. Delete that. So Shift and D to save the same. This was what? Roughness? Roughness. I think. Yes. I mean, if it's a little bit off, I guess it gives a character. Oh, because we had underlying materials attached to it. No matter, I'm sure it'll look fine. Alright, so we'll do AK finish after. Yeah. We'll just save this. So file, new, might as well get this done. General, AX. We're going to import a wave. And of course, underneath Doomsday, and we're going to do the mag and grep. Scale, because again, 20. G on the Y, G on the Z, G on the Y. That's good. This, obviously, we're going to file, export as an FBX. Where the hell was I putting that stuff? Into ZFBX, and we'll do clip. Alright. Clip FBX has been exported. And now, color code. Hitting W. Can't believe I'm doing this early in the morning. Alright, so again, UV editing. Make sure that UV sync selection's turned on. And now comes the fun part. I really do enjoy doing this part, I'm not gonna lie. Oh, that's interesting. The two ends are opposite of each other. Don't tell me this is right below it. It's not. Alright. So again, this is your point 1. I call it point, but it's vertex. 2 line or edge, and then 3 face. So let's do this. Wait, where the hell are we? I don't even know where we are right now. Where am I? And we're gonna throw that right in there. And right down there. Not bad. Now that does look like it curves in and it kind of stops up here. So we're just gonna treat it as such. And that would definitely be a cloth texture. Alright, where does this go? Down there. Alright. How far in does this go? Oh. Really? Well, first things first. Text tools, color ID, red. It's all going to be red. Because keep in mind, you know, we're doing the 5 colors. You can do more because that's what we're kind of working with here. But I'm just trying to keep it low so that I can just get this uniform look to it. So between that and the body, you need to keep them uniform. Layers. Always does that for the top dirt bubbles. There we go. Alright, we'll take off dirt bubbles for shits and giggles. We'll just blur. What was it? Threshold? It was one of these. There we go. Throw it back. It'll do that sometimes. You just got to move the repetition. And we're doing 8 and 8 on that. So I mean, with the basis of this, again, it's 5 colors. And that's what we're working with. Or that's what I chose to work with. Because the next one up is 15. I thought you could add individual ones, but I guess you can't. I mean, I could be wrong too. So this whole thing right here, Alt and Z. I mean, we could make that one and then just layer over it. And then make it the same as our clip. You know what? Let's just do that. That would probably be the easier bet, huh? So we'll set that as blue. So we got our red, blue. Then we actually have green and light blue. This I'm going to keep as blue. And that's your trigger, so when they pull the trigger, they might actually see it because it's getting pulled back, so you do want to make sure that you get those. So we'll just do 2, and we'll continue up to the top over here. There we go. Not bad. Same thing with this. 2 sides, how they unwrapped it. They got interesting UVs, I will say that. Where's green? Do we have green? We do not have green. Green it is. This will in fact be blue as well, because I want to keep all those uniform. And this is the bottom of the gun. And again, I mean, you can do what you want with them. It's totally up to you. I'm just showing you what I'm doing, so you get the basic idea. I mean, it doesn't have to be exact, you know? It's the awesome thing about modeling. You play with it. The only way you see if it's right or wrong is if you like it and you think it looks good. That's all. Nothing more, nothing less. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. So, we have the red. We do have that extra bit right there. Which again, I mean, you can make this a cloth looking texture. You know what, just because we have it doesn't mean we have to use it. We can always come back in. File. Clip. Save as clip blend. Okay, now that we have this code, the UV code, I want to make sure that it's 1024. These should automatically go like it. And back to diffuse and bake it. There we go. There's our diffuse map. So, and it's always good to remember the main part, which this was, I'm gonna write this down. Oh no, I fucked with the repetitions, didn't I? Nine. We'll do 7. 7. I thought it was 5. Which, whatever. 5 is easy to remember. We're gonna go with that. So, we saved the body. Now we're gonna file, new mix. Trigger. Or a clip. We'll just do clip. Alright. 1024. 2x2 size. Instead of a plane, we'll do a custom mesh. And the FBX clip. Open. There we go. Let's load in our color map underneath our material ID, which, because I put them all in different places, which I say you shouldn't do, but I did it because, you know, real smart. I think it was mag maps. No, You know what? Best way to find out, because we didn't even save it. Right here, image, save as. There we go. Mag grip. PNG. Tutorial. Save as. There we go. So, C, tutorial, and tutorial. Alright, there we go. There's our mag grip. All good to go. So the blue is what we're going to use for this first one. And we are going to add the paint ID to blue. Bingo. Opacity, and we want this tiled. And I think we said 5, right? There we go. So now that we got that on there, I do remember I want to change the depth a little bit. I mean, you should get back into the exacts and how you saved the layers. You could save your layers again, but I already have so much crap and it's all unorganized because, yeah, tired. Alright, bring up the high frequency so that dips in. Same with the low. And then the threshold just kind of pushes it over. There we go. We do need a new material for this. I'm thinking like a cloth material. Which, yeah. File, save as, clip, save. I don't even know if we should save those. I mean, why not? Let's have the trigger silver. 8. So green. Now that we have the green on there, we're going to go ahead and we're going to mess with it a little bit. Tiling. Got the scratches. That's good. You know what, let's do freeform because then we can scale it down. Well, we can do it with that too. And bring up the repetitions. Kind of gives it wear. I'll be doing a texture tutorial later tonight along with the stock so we can see how this kind of works out. But yeah, let's go in here, fabric. Oh, leather. That works. I mean, you could take a picture of your leather couch and do this. That way you can say it's yours and you don't have to put the disclaimer in saying, like, I got these textures from. I don't think I have any red in there, so I want to keep it still uniform. This is a 2K. Now keep in mind it has to be squared and none of this will work. You gotta be kidding me. Oh, let's see here. Fabric. We'll go back one. I don't know. If there's something you guys see, you know, say it. Yeah, this is regular squared. And it's seamless. $2K seamless. Alright, we'll do this. Oh, 1024 by 1024. I don't think that. I want something with PBR is the best way to go, honestly. Because everything's already done, but again, that's what Materialize is for. So now that we have this, let's go right back to textures. And PBR materials. Fabrics. Bingo. Alright. Dragon skin. Hell yeah. Alright. 1024, 1024. And 1024. Alright. Now again, you only get a certain amount of credits. I think it's 15 every 24 hours. And we're going to go right here. Right click. New. Or not new. Come on. Dragon skin. And then we can just take that. Keep textures.com in there. Because again, you got to let people know that you've used it. And then from here, I'm just going to press shift, open up another one. And I believe I put it right underneath textures. Elemental PQR textures. Yeah. I had a specific folder for it though. So let's just jump right back into Materialize for what we got already. Library. Import custom surface. And diffuse. Tutorial. Jesus. See the importance of having everything go in one folder? If you guys learn nothing except one thing, let it be that. It's all about organization. There we go. So dragon skin, textures, we'll do C, tutorial, and tutorial. There we go. Just throw that right in there. I gotta go to bed after this. So now that we have our dragon skin in there along with the rest of them that we got, and again, I keep these all separate so that, you know, we know that we got them from textures.com, because you got to let people know that you got it from them. And that's why you want to make your own textures, is, you know, then you don't got to say that. So let's use our diffuse. I believe it was diffuse. Dragon skin. Nope, it's albedo. So, because that works with metal. And reflective. There we go. Open. And now it's just going to go and get the rest of it in there. Let's open gloss. There is no gloss, but we can add that on. Dragon skin height, normal. Displacements are height, good, normal, AO. There's no metal? No, that's not right. Height, normal, roughness, AO. Yeah, that's it. Okay. So we'll do next. And of course, I've just been keeping these all uniform, 2x2. Let's see how much we can get away with that. That is actually not bad at all. So let's do, we've been doing 2. How does 5 look? I don't see any tearing. Dragon skin. And of course underneath my textures, because you don't want to get them mixed up with the other one. My text. Alright. So let's add a whole nother layer here. Dragon skin. And this is red. Good old red. So we're going to add our ID mask. Red. And now that we have that on there, we want to go from box projection to tiling. Actually, that came out perfect. Let's fuck with it and make it worse. Alright, repetitions. That looks a little bit better. Not gonna lie. Doesn't matter if we bring it up or down. Let's go down to our frequency and mess with how much it sticks out. Don't want it to hug too much, but it's not really going to matter, because I mean, I know it looks like it's changing this here. It's not going to change a thing. This is actually pushing this down, because I don't believe no, we didn't. That was just our red. So now that we have that and our silver, everything is 5. We can add a couple other things too. Yeah, this looks good for right now. And it's clip file. Save as clip. Yeah. Yeah, I do. Alright, so we saved clip to clip. Let's export this. .24. We'll add a gloss map just because And a metallic, because it's going to ask us for it, and we might as well plug it in. Now I think actually for ha-has, if we want to, we can add a paint layer, click on this, might be wrong, it might just be the other for the flat material, and then you'll have to make it after that. I'm not going to mess with the painting tonight. I haven't really looked too much into that, but alright, cool. So now that we got all that, we're going to export it, custom, clip, finish, and we'll do 1024. Export 9 maps. Alright. Workshop. Create a new item. Bring that out. Jump back in. Alright, so we got our dude here. And AK. God damn. Let's see how this way held up. So, edit, barrel. We're gonna open. Oh, hey, look, it's all right there. Body. Bar, barrel. We'll try this first. So we got the barrel in there. Let's throw our normal in there. Specular gloss. Our AO. Doesn't come out too bad. Alright, next. Mag drip, which we just did. Clip. Let's throw in our AO. And then our normal. And then our gloss. Not bad. Alright, so let's go back into our diffuse and use diffuse instead of AO. We might have to mess with the values a little bit, but we got the maps all in the correct order. AK main. Body. That's 2K. We'll do body diffuse. Body normal. Body specular. Oh. I have specular and gloss. Well, I'll be damned. I don't know if I should use the specular or the gloss. Well, again, that's why we look at it. Let's do our AO first. Get all our maps in there, and then we can mess with it. Alright, so for this one we used what? Specular? Or gloss? We used gloss, I think, or specular. Open gloss. See what it looks like. Oh, I didn't change that. Son of a bitch. So now that we have this, we can go ahead and we can look at like what exactly we want to change on it. Let's do metal instead. See how that works out for it. Again, it's just playing with it. Whatever works the best, or looks the best, I should say. Okay, I actually like that. It's not about what you do, it's about how it ends up. I used body on that. Clip. See again, it goes down to, should it be specular or gloss? Flip around here. Because we got the dragon skin, which actually looks pretty good on the clip. But again, they tell you specular, gloss. We'll see what we're doing here. Those connect quite well. We kept that blank because I wanted to make that totally different color. And that's what you're going to be fighting with. You're going to have like main colors that are just... It gets pretty ridiculous. So we're still at the mag grip. Diffuse. And let's bring the time of day. There we go. Bring the sun over a little bit. Alright. Seems like it's the same tint. And this is what you gotta look out for right there. Let's bring the glossiness down. Where am I at? Mag. Seems to be the right tint. That's good. That's good. Got the silver with the rip bumps. The wear. And tear. Son of a bitch. And this also is a part of it. The triggers. How are the triggers? Are they the same? Ah, crap. Son of a bitch. Are the triggers the same? Because he's holding onto the damn trigger. I can't see. You gotta be kidding me. Alright. Barrel seems good. That slider's good. We haven't done the stock yet. So the AK main seems pretty good. Let's bring this down all the way so we can see it. Okay, so when it's down all the way, it says specular or gloss. Unfortunately, it gives us both. It doesn't give us one or the other. Let's try specular. Keep in mind this is down all the way. No. Bring up the gloss. And I use diffuse on this, right? What am I doing? AK-47 main. That's why. A derp right up here. Body. Diffuse body. Specular gloss. Body. We'll use specular. Open. Alright. Actually, I think that's how it's supposed to be. I think... Are you supposed to put these to the maximum value? When I figure out a conversion rate, I'll definitely let you guys know, but as you can see, it's pretty much there. I mean, the dragon skin definitely came out good. Alright, so jack up the glossiness. And that's for AK-47 main. Body normal. Yep. AO. Yeah. There we go. About to say. Because I don't think you really have to mess with it too much. Just because, I mean, if you bring it up to the maximum value, you already set the values in what you're trying to use. Let's do the barrel. And again, we'll use the barrel diffuse. Bar, barrel, diffuse. AO, same thing. And just jack that up all the way to where it's supposed to be. And bring up the glossiness. And then the specular. I think we kept it as specular. Yeah, that's exactly pretty much how we had it. Alright, so you just gotta jack up the values then, and as for specular gloss, you gotta choose, because these are all reflecting the way we want it, right here. I wish you would hold it. There we go. Alright. Our dragon skin is mint. We obviously can add more to it, but it's a great start. And again, it's just, you know, a question of, oh, hey, what do I want to do with this? And then we jump in, which we will be doing. I don't like that I didn't put that in. That's going to bother the hell out of me. Although, we chose to make those as shiny as they are. Our file save. File open. Barrel. I mean, that's what... It's stupid because it's literally what it's supposed to look like. It's just with the lighting, it's a little too much. Let's try bringing it down. There we go. So bring it up to the red. Thought we're supposed to max it out here. Crap. Alright. It does look a little bit more like it, right? I mean, the only reason why... Well, let's go into our layers. We have these two different, yeah, I mean, there's nothing we can really do about that part. We can always add it in. We'll do steel battered. Opacity's all the way. But we can bring it down and give it a little bit more. No, I'm going to keep it up all the way. There we go. Alright, file, open. We'll do, the body, I guess. No, we opened it up how we wanted it. I think it's just the environment that it's in. Dirt bubbles. Here we go. Threshold. Oh. I could have sworn this saved. I guess I'm wrong. Let's try the 4K instead with that body. That might make a difference. Alright. Body. Or 2K, not the... So we'll do algo. Open. Oh, god damn it. That's the body. Yeah, I mean, for the most part, ALLOT works pretty good. So let's go to main. Body. And that was the 2K, I believe, right? Yeah. Tried diffuse instead. Got our normal in there. We'll use specular. And our AO. Okay, so I guess I just didn't save the body part with that. The main thing is these two match the front and the back. We're just gonna have to add more to it, give it more to look at. We'll finish up tonight. I gotta get to work. Not bad. Not bad for... I think this will work great for... You know what? That's what I should have done. I should have added... what else did I have here? Here we go. Like a decal layer. To kind of give it an extra overgo that wasn't all glossy, because we can change it. Oh man, what am I doing here? There we go. And just either A, have it hug the bottom, something, because it seems way too bland, honestly. For the most part, I mean, the shininess is there. It's just a little too shiny, so let's bring down the glossiness to what we were saying. Come on. Slow down. There we go. Yeah, that looks a lot better. And then, at least with this, here, we'll set the offset here. Bring it. Here, rotate 90. There. Have it on one side, and then, I mean, we could rotate or do tiling. 90. Repetitions on the Y. So again, we'll change that. Just something to add, you know, so it gives it a little extra oomph. Freeform. There we go. Bring down the scale. Now rotate it. Alright, cool. And then Y. Bring it right about here. And then of course we're going to add the decal too. Everybody puts them on the back. I don't know if I should do that as well. But, you know, leave your comments. Let me know what you think. It's definitely a good start. And again, I mean, I can change pretty much anything that I want to on this without going back and forth, to GIMP and then back into Blender. I really do like Mixer. It's definitely a... I mean, I could duplicate the layer. And then now I can just go here and throw another offset for Y. There we go. Freeform. Bring up the scale. No. There we go. And you know what? This one will be tiling. No repetitions. There we go. Unpack that. And then rotate that 90. And now bring it down so that it's on top. That we're definitely going to have to do repetitions on the Y. There we go. And then do the offset so that it spikes around. And bring up our high frequency so that they come out a little bit more. Threshold down. There we go. Something, you know, just something extra to it. Because at this point, it's way too bland. I definitely want to add more to it. But if you want to see how to set this up, oh, there's 4 of you now. Holy shit. You want to see how to set this up? Basically, I started off in the first one. Go ahead, subscribe. I have another method of doing it too, but I have an idea that I think it might work. This, I thought for the most part it would work, and for the most part it does. It's just really tweaking it. The last part it's different. You know, a lot of people are like, dude, just follow the maps. It's like, well, this is specular gloss. And this says diffuse, so when you add everything that, you know, you're supposed to, you have all the different, you know, you have AO, that's simple. But like, you have specular gloss and metalness. Derp. You do metalness, and well, suck my balls. Yeah, for this, definitely the metalness. Alright, but I'm going to call it for tonight. Definitely go back. I think I put it underneath the playlist of, what is it, Rust skins, or making Rust skins. And that's where, you know, the first 3 tutorials that I did were, and then I think there was another one. But that's where this one's going, and then there's one before it that was just how to set it up, and I went through, you know, what you need to do, what not to do so you don't get in trouble, because there is such thing as ripping off people's textures. And if they're going after people for playing music for 5 seconds, which is just ridiculous, you bet your ass they're going after people for textures, especially when they come from big corporations. So yeah, that looks so much better. So it's not specular or gloss, it's metalness. Who would have known? You know, because sometimes simply labeled things are not always the answer. It all comes down to what you think looks good. And I think this looks way too bland. So, we're going to add more. Thank you guys for watching. Leave any comments, you know, like, subscribe. And if you have any questions, just hit me up, and hopefully I can help you guys out. Saturday, tomorrow, I'm hoping to get the webpage up so when everyone's done, they'll be able to upload their version of an AK or whatever before it goes into Rust, and we all can critique each other's work and just say, hey, can you try this? Or, and then that way everybody can download it, take a look at it, you know. just go from there before we upload it to the shop. Obviously, don't rip off others' work because everyone's going to get usernames. It should be a fun time. We're definitely going to make a good community, I think so. You know? I mean, critique is great. Definitely critique this because I don't know what the hell to do with it at this point. This has got to change. That's going to be fun tonight. That's going to be dragon skin too. Hell yeah. I did, you know, I will say, I do like the way the dragon skin came out. That definitely came out good. But, alright. Yeah, let's get rid of these for now. Because I can't do anything with those. I want to keep going. Oh, fuck! You know what? I'm not done yet. A derp? I have dragon skin. Why not add it to the under... What are we doing? All types. There we go. My textures. Boom. Dragon skin. Green. Green. Knock out the green. Knock out the green. Add our ID mask. Bring in our green. And obviously we want to have that. As tiling. Why didn't I think of that? Definitely want to have. We'll do freeform. And we'll bring down this. Yeah, freeform's for more placement, so we'll just do tiling. That... Damn it, why didn't I think of that before? So much better. A derp? Yeah, that leather, that'll work. I definitely like a leather bottom for the holster, or for the grip. So we're just gonna bring that out. You go too much with the frequency, you notice how it's pulling back, and you gotta, it's a pain in the neck. So you don't want to do it too much, and you don't want it to go out too much. I think that's usually with the lower, because what's happening is it's messing with, there we go. What it's actually messing with is our displacement. It's not going to show up. You don't have to worry about it. It's not going to show up like, it's not going to mess with the model at all. And it will just be normal. It's just trying to fill it in. Yeah, I don't think it's going to look anything like that when you put it into Blender. That would be cool. Or Blender. It will look like that if you put out your displacement map. So let's bring this and bring our threshold down. Let's put everything back to 0. That was the original. Yeah, that still looks a lot better either way. Alright, let's try that. And we still have this here. Alright, those are all done. Let's see here. Export. Let's test. Finish. Body. Custom. 2048. I think they were, the rest of them were all 1024. Yep. Now before I export those, let's jump into, what was it? Models. So we'll jump back right into our Rust models. AK. AK stock. Finish. There you go. So body, this can all go. Let's see what this looks like as is with 1024. Alright. So workshop, create new. Item, AK. We'll do diffuse. Dark one. Body. It's 1K. Normal. And AO. And our specular gloss, which we think metalness should work a little bit better. What am I doing? Body. For whatever reason, it's not changing. Let's try the barrel. Bar, barrel. Alright. Try diffuse. That worked fine. We'll go back to main. Body. Diffuse. There we go. Normal. Get our AO. Okay, and then our specular gloss, which metalness is the best one that we found. Alright, there's the top of it. That looks a lot better. Here's the grip. That grip is a lot better. Let's go back to the barrel. Specular works great as well. So knowing that, then we'll go back to specular gloss and we'll use specular so that it's all uniform. Okay, and then our bottom. A lot of it's playing around. You're gonna play around with it quite a bit, till you get what you're actually looking for. Diffuse, open, normal, normal, specular gloss, specular. There we go, and then AO. Make this all dragon skin back there. So we're gonna save that. And we are going to do file, new mix, stock, 1024. Let's just get this done. This needs to be saved. Now file, new, general. And again, we'll just, pretend you downloaded everything. File, import. We'll do OBJ. And it's going to go underneath Doomsday. Stock, import. Gotta scale it up to, geez, what will we do here? I'm gonna say 20 because that's what we were doing before. G on the Z, bring that down. And then file, export as an FBX underneath Z FBX, and we're gonna call this stock. Now that we have that, just gonna change all this. Tab. Yeah. This we're gonna keep the same. So UV editing. Hit W, Alt and Z. Alright, do the nail here. Now that we have the nail, gonna use our plugin. And then color ID, Same colors as before. First things first, we'll make the whole thing like that. And now we can change that to straight blue. From here, we'll probably make this green. Okay, green. Same thing with back here. There we go. Works for me. We'll do 1024. Bake it as a diffuse. Now, after we bake it as a diffuse, we're going to go ahead and image, save as, AK stock diffuse. There, boom. We got that. That definitely looks good. And this is going to be a custom mesh. Underneath C. Textures. Oh, I'm sorry. C. Tutorial. Doomsday. There we go. Stock. Got our stock. And because we might as well finish this while we can. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna make these green as well. You know what? Let's keep it the same for the dragon skin. Alright. So, bring in a layer. I mean, I could just do this, but I do want to add a little bit more detail to it. So underneath base layer, we're going to add our material ID, and we're going to load that right up into, let me see here, image, save as, see tutorial. Stock. There we go. 8. Boom. Add mask ID. And throw that right underneath the red. Oh, missed a spot. Not a big deal. That's odd. But it happens. Do 3. Alright. It's alright. We can change that later. Just go right into it here. Boom. Alright. We still have a couple extra. We didn't use yellow yet. Did not use a yellow. Alright. So now this will be yellow. And then if we want to, we can just add it as the same. But, I don't know. Again, it'll give us options. Anyways, so from there, diffuse. 1024. Alright. And bake. Got it. Image, save as, and then stock diffuse, save as image. Jump back into this. We are going to go back down to our base layer. We're going to remove it, and then of course we're just going to add it again. There we go. Alright. We're going to remove that. Yeah, definitely delete the layer. Let's add our metal, because that's the one thing that's just super uniform on everything. Or actually, let's keep away from the metal this time. Local library. Let's throw this in. Add ID mask 8. Blue and green. Okay. Change that to tiling. And then repetitions 5. And 5. We'll just change the offset so it goes up a little bit. There we go. And now you can see how quickly I'm just getting right through this. Same thing here. And of course it goes right through because we already color coded it. Local library, bring that up. And add a mask ID to the red. Tiling. Not bad. Let's go down to the height frequency. We'll bring it up just a smidge. All right. Add ID mask. Same thing. Yellows. Boom. And then we're gonna add. We got our mask ID. Tiling. Seven. Great drink. Bring down the offset, get a little bit out there. Alright. Why not? And I'll get into the painting next time and a little bit more into it, but at least this gives you something else to go off of rather than the other. But you see how quickly I did that without... Yeah. Well, you see. Local library. Alright, cool. So we'll save as stock. Alright, cool. And next, export, stock, 1040. Alright. Let's do gloss. Do all of them. Might as well put them in there. If you got them, put them in, then it gives you more of an option if you're starting to get confused. And then export the 9 maps. Close out of this. Not even gonna bother. Because it takes so quickly to do that. So now that we have this, that's the last of it. Really? Thought I just saved this. So we got the stock. Rust. Item. What would be a good name? Oh, edit. Let me see here. Diffuse. Open. And normal. Specular. There are AO there. Blends in quite nicely. Alright, so we have all that. It's normal specular gloss. We're going to reset the normal scale. Specular for the stock. Go away, crickets. All right. And that's the barrel. Barrel normal. Just in case. Specular. AO. Alright. Looks good. I'm gonna do my thing and get to work on super detailing it. Alright.